Hello everyone, it's me, Demented Ghastly here, and today I'm going to be ranking the first boots of Total Drama and Disventure Camp. Now why? Because I'm going to be telling you my reasoning for each one of these, and we're going to make it into a little bit of video essay, am I right, gamers? Anyway, so the first one that we have to go into, and I have all of them right here, all of them. We got the first boot of Total Drama Island, which I say is going to be Ezekiel, which I will put in A tier. Ezekiel's boot was a good way of twisting things around. It made sense, especially because his team was mostly girls, or not mostly girls, but mostly guys, and genuinely they are not going to want to seem like they voted for Courtney after what he said, you know? Anyway, so essentially, Ezekiel being first boot here was a very good move. And it showed that in the future, there are going to be really weird twists. I feel like it made sense. He got screen time after. I'm also going to include a little bit of things like how else did they appear in that season. And Ezekiel got like a fair amount of screen time after he got eliminated, where you were kind of able to understand him a little bit more and understand that it was more social awkwardness than genuine hatred he was spewing there. So I'm going to put him at A. I feel like that is the most solid thing that I can do here. I can't put him anywhere higher because genuinely we could use a little bit more of Ezekiel moments to kind of understand, because you have to read his wiki bio, and that's how everybody gets their information about him, you know? Next we're going to have Geoff and Bridgette, with Geoff being at B and Bridgette being at C. Now, I didn't want to see them making out throughout the entire season, however, I'm going to say that Bridgette is more of a C tier, because I felt like they could have done what they did in World Tour, where Geoff gets eliminated immediately and has to host the show, and then Bridgette gets eliminated soon after and then helps him host the show. That's why I'm putting them at B and C tier respectfully. Respectfully? Is that the word that I'm looking for? I'm not sure. I am really not sure. But yeah, Geoff and Bridgette's elimination, it was simple, it was quick. It worked well, but I'm not gonna put it like higher because there wasn't too much thought put into that. Like, I didn't even know it was going to be a double elimination. I'm gonna be real, that was weird. And Duncan is of course an F. The fact that he came back was absolute garbage. I feel like we can all admit that. He shouldn't have came back. That was a horrible decision on the writer's part. And his elimination was also kind of mid as well. Him quitting doesn't... I mean, it does seem like him, but he was so whiny about it. Like, it was a valid crash out, but still, it's... Something about Duncan doesn't scream at quitting to me, you know? And everything after when he came back, that was garbage, so he definitely deserves F tier. His placement is not only first boot, but also friggin' fourth place at the same time. How do you manage to do that? Next we have Ezekiel World Tour. I put this in F, or D. Now, it was a funny running gag, or it would be if he was eliminated first in action. However, he didn't even qualify for action, so it's not a running gag. It is not a running gag if almost all the times that he was eliminated were within the same season. World Tour, where he got eliminated one time by being thrown out of a plane, second time by being thrown out of a plane after being voted off, and the third time after he immediately tried to join and they were like, well, so you didn't capture all the people that you need to, so you're going to whoop and just throw them out of the plane immediately. So there was literally no point. Also, this was Ezekiel's season to win, as they gave him canonically the ability to speak 8 languages. That would have been the most helpful thing in a World Tour season, and this was his season to win. I do not care what you have to say. There is no reason why this character should have been eliminated first if the running gag was not a running gag, and I'll stand by that. Staci is an S+ tier. Now you might be wondering, why is Staci S+ tier? Well, it's because Staci is probably the best ran first boot. I did not want to see any more of her. And she kept on that promise. You know, she got booted, and she's gone. Then when she appeared at the end, she got ate by a giant plant. So I felt like that was pretty based in Sigma. Actually, I'm gonna put her at S, because I feel like I have to talk about how there's... You know what? No, she goes in S+. She goes in S+, it's fine. She's just simply the best written, like, first boot. Nobody wanted to see any more of her. They could have expanded on her character, but they didn't leave any hints for us to go by, which allowed us to kind of, like, not care. Which can't be said the same for, whoa, man, my speech today is crazy. Which can't be said the same for characters like Beardo. Meanwhile, Lindsay is another F, and I'm not biased because I like Lindsay as a character. I am biased because she was a good choice for a winner. She was a good choice for a character. If they didn't lean into the idea that she might have, like, acted dumb on purpose to screw over Courtney, kind of hurt Courtney a little bit, and then, you know, leave because no amount of lip gloss is worth this. It was just so bad. And then the final time we see her, she gets floated into the sun. So, yeah, she's definitely going in F. Why? Why would you make her first boot? The beloved fan favorite character. Could she have gotten worse? Yes, probably. But it's horrible. Meanwhile, Beardo also goes in D. Why, you may be asking? Beardo goes in D tier because right after all of that stuff about, you know, him being incredibly annoying, which I'm perfectly fine with. I'm like, oh man, this character is so annoying. I hope he gets booed off. And then they show his audition tape. They show his audition tape where essentially they're like, he's like, oh man, I have social anxiety, so I can't really talk to people, so I just make noises until I get to know people better. What? You give that much background after he gets eliminated first, and then you never talk about him ever again? He never even comes back onto screen as, like, an actual person, not like the little thing on the monitor. What the hell? That is so dumb. So that's why he's D tier. Even if he is friggin' annoying while he's on screen, I can't mess with that. Next we have Leonard and Tammy. Lenny? That's crazy. Came up with a ship name. I don't think we really want to see more of these guys. I'm gonna put them in A. It was solid. It was a solid elimination. They got eliminated doing what they loved, which was being stupid. LARPers. And this isn't to say that I hate LARPers in general. I do hate them when, you know, this is a serious competition and they just screwed themselves over for no reason. Just get out of cosplay like once, my guy. Just, good lord. Anyways, it was a solid elimination, so it goes in A tier. Next we have Caleb. I'm going to be controversial. I'm going to say Caleb's was an S tier. This was the biggest just like plot twist of the entire season. Like, I saw Julia going to be evil. I saw MK going to get eliminated. I saw like most of the stuff that was coming. But like, Caleb getting eliminated? What? Like, I thought he was going early, but I didn't think he was going to be first. And the fact that Bowie kind of manipulated him, because there's, like, so many different things. Like, I will put on the screen right now, if I have it, a image of, like, the different reasons why campers were eliminated. And I thought this was the most manipulative first boot out there. And that's pretty friggin' awesome. Next we have Scary Girl. Scary Girl is going to go in C tier. It was mid, like, she got like a whole ass new design and you just don't use it. She got like they give her like a little thing of, oh, she's trying to be normal, you know? Maybe if they had a season 3, she wouldn't be in the mid tier. But like, I don't know, she was pretty funny. I think that eliminating her this early was actually kind of a problem. Like, that was not a smart move. It was not a smart move at all. Especially since the fans really liked her. I personally would eliminate Chase first. I felt like it'd be a pretty easy first boot to do, and he didn't really have any storyline for that anyway, so it would have been just pretty easy. Next we have Dan. Now, Dan was eliminated in the beta version of Season 1, which is of Disventure Camp, which is Adventure Camp. Now, I watched a English dub over to figure out what exactly happened, and what I came up with was Dan essentially... Gret tricked Tom into thinking that Dan knew about him, in quotation marks, and essentially Tom was like, what? Oh my god, I gotta eliminate him now. And so he's like, it's blah blah blah, traitor, you know, that sort of thing. Is weird. Essentially Gret just manipulated Tom, and then afterwards Gret immediately, like, after like it was announced that Dan was going home, she was like, yeah, by the way, I lied to you. And so Dan just went home. Dan was being strategic, but you know, it's like, it was kind of sudden, it was kind of goofy, and I'm just gonna put in B tier because it was kind of funny. Especially since he, you know, started off with strategizing, like, we should form a boys alliance. We gotta make sure that we, blah blah blah. That was so good. I think that Will was also kind of a decent one. I'm putting him only at B though, because even Staci, like, had the impact of being freaking annoying. Will has no impact whatsoever. I think that most of the characters that are featured in the Tom Jake series get, like, a lot more attention for, like, a short amount of time. And even though Will was in the Tom Jake series, I still have not seen any love for him. Nothing about his character. So I'm guessing that seriously means that Will has seriously just left just nothing. He's left no impact on any of the fans whatsoever. So, you know, what you gotta do, Will? Why would you do that? Why would you... Oh my god. It's so dumb. It's this character, he just does not exist. But I'm gonna put him in B, because, you know, it was an interesting thing with him and Fiore. That was, like, an interesting thing. It cements Fiore's manipulative capabilities. But, you know, they could have done, like, anything with Will, like, at all. After that, gave him maybe a personality? I don't know. I mean, he did have a personality. He was like DJ, but a billion times worse. With the being scared of everything type thing. Oliver, the first time he had his elimination, it was pretty okay. I thought this one felt a little bit weirder. The first one was like more trauma. This one felt more like he was like standing up to him. And then afterwards, you know, it got picked up by Crystal. So I'm gonna put in B tier. I think it's solid. I think it's a little bit weird. Then I'm gonna put James in S tier, because bro did not need to go far. Bro did not need to go past the first episode. I hated his voice, and screw James. And yeah, overall though, I feel like the everybody immediately being panicked of like, okay, Jake did a thing, now we all have to pick sides again. That was just like, that's classic Jake reaction behavior of like, you have to react to when Jake does something. So overall, I think James' elimination was pretty decent. I didn't need to see any of his interactions with other characters because I don't know, I just didn't want to. I didn't think that there was any like interactions between him and other characters that I was like interested in seeing. Like maybe Miriam. Like I thought that'd be interesting, like TikTok and Granny, I don't know. But like other than that, I didn't really see him like making any huge friends there other than, you know, sticking with Aiden. And then Alessio. Alessio is a god tier first boot. It was amazing. Like, how did you manage to create like a full-on arc within 2 episodes, then eliminate him as the first boot, and then go back to the little thing where they show more of the character, and you expand the character so much within 1 episode, and then every line that he does in the other episodes after that hits so hard that you've just made like the perfect first boot character. And it's not even Staci, like I want to see him go, but I was okay with seeing him go. And now that like we've gotten all the time with this character, even after we saw him go as first boot, we know that this character is really well made, really well rounded, and has some great interactions with other characters. And I think we need to see more first boots like this. If you need ideas for like which characters to take image from, I'd say probably do Ezekiel, because he was the first one. He was the most like, or Ezekiel's Island one. It was the first like idea of what a first boot would look like. And then Staci, because obviously she is one of the best, and Alessio as well. Overall, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too long for you. I probably am going to put this in the little editing machine. The really crappy one, the really crappy like editing app that I use. Not app, but yeah, it is an application. And then I'm probably gonna put footage on this, so this probably won't come out for a while. So, you know, I also record the Christmas special, so hope you're looking forward to that. Make sure to go outside, compliment someone's hair, and make the world a little bit better place.